Hey everyone, I'm Michael, and welcome to another video. And as the title suggests, I have something to show you guys. I have been writing code for Little Big Planet Union. If you don't know what Little Big Planet Union is, it's a community run by who I consider to be a very good friend of mine, M88 Youngling, otherwise known as Michael Youngling. LBP Union has been running for 12 years at this point. They just celebrated their 12-year anniversary the other day, and um, the their post Union Day Q&A. I'm all over the place right now. I'm so exhausted after what's been happening this week, but their post Union Day Q&A just happened, and I was a part of it, actually answering questions. And I figured, since I'm sort of known in the community for being the Little Big Planet server networking guru, um, I would show you guys exactly what I'm doing behind the scenes with Little Big Planet Union and what we're working on right now. So the first project I have to show you guys is Ancient Washington New. So basically the story goes, we have had server monitoring for a while, but an issue was discovered recently, or rather, Sony made a change with the Little Big Planet servers that kind of broke our old monitoring system. What they did is they completely switched to SSL encryption on the server side, and we couldn't monitor that for a while, so we had to shut that down. I stepped in and fixed that, and that is what ultimately became Ancient Washington New, or just Ancient Washington now. It's a C# Discord bot that I wrote to replace the old bot that was written by someone else, that actually handles the SSL server that Sony set up instead of the old Little Big Planet servers that we were monitoring. It handles the SSL server by simply ignoring the SSL certificate chain, which is a really technical thing to explain, but I have a blog on it on my website that explains it, basically. Basically, what Sony does is they have their own SSL certificate authority that all the games that have online functionality have their own keys signed through, and that certificate authority isn't trusted by things like Windows. It's only trusted by PlayStation. So we actually had to get around that by setting up a monitor that ignores the certificate, because we know that it will never, ever be trusted by anything that's not a PlayStation. We're not a PlayStation running this bot. So that's what ultimately is the first thing that I did. And I'm going to show you guys the bot in action. If I just go ahead and switch us over, I have to apologize. You're going to see OBS for a little bit, but rest assured, I will have this all set up. So there's OBS. I have to be careful what I show because I'm in some private discussions in Little Big Planet Union, and I would very much prefer not to leak them on my friend, or on, and maybe, or, oh god. I'm trying to operate a taskbar at the same time as talking, and it's not going well. Anyway, there's Discord, and I want to make sure that I do not leak, alright, anything important that we don't want to leak. Okay, so this is LBP Union #chat, so that's good. Okay, I'm going to switch you guys back to main display. Alright, so this is LBP Union on Discord, and I am lead developer there, or networking guru there, whatever you want to call me, I guess. And this is the bot in action. So if I go into, where is it? No, not Discord news. We want to stay away from things like Discord news because that's all private. And server status. So server status, this is new. This used to be a non-existent channel, and I'm going to show you another channel that used to be called server status. But this is the Little Big Planet game server status. This is the servers for Little Big Planet 1, 2, and 3, and they are currently offline with status code 503, and it's telling you that. And a lot of people have seen that, clearly. But anyway, this is something new that I wrote for the bot, is a summary of all the servers and what their statuses are. So that's new. And what we have now that used to be this channel is status history, which, as you can see, this has displayed, or this posted the other day, that the Little Big Planet server for PS3 has gone, or has switched to status code 503, which really just means that the bot hasn't seen the server before and it's posting the update because it doesn't know what it used to be. But it's status 503, and it tells you exactly what this means. The servers are undergoing maintenance, and are they online? No. So that's something else that I wrote. So we have status history and general server status. That's all well and cool, but you have to join the Discord to see the server status, and that's not exactly friendly. I mean, yeah, it's cool to have people joining the server because, you know, it's nice to grow the server, but it's also, wouldn't it be great if you could just go to a website and see the server status there? And that's what I'm working on next, or what we are working on next. So if we go to lbpunion.com, and we actually, okay, so it's going to be a little slow because whips, but there is a server status page, and Michael Youngling is good at updating this when there's anything important, but this is manually updated. This isn't actually controlled by a bot or a monitoring tool or anything like that. It is influenced by the bot, but it is manually updated. We're working on automating this because, well, Michael is a busy person, and I mean M88 Youngling, not me. I'm busy, but he's way more busy. So if we can automate this whole process of updating this page, then, you know, he doesn't have to update it. Unless there's, like, something really significant going on. But anyway, how are we going to automate that? Well, what I've also done with Agent Washington, which is the bot, is I've set it up. So, first of all, here's the source code of it. It is open source, by the way. All the stuff I'm working on for LBP Union is open source on the LBP Union GitHub. Anyway, what I'm working on is, if we go into web database, I've set this whole thing up so that it can actually update a MongoDB database with the server status. Which, this MongoDB database, if I go into my WebStorm, gets read by another project I'm working on, Server Status API, which is a Node.js application, and it is running on my system, or at least I think it's running on my system. I can terminate it, though. So I'm going to terminate it, and I'm going to start it. And then we're going to go to it. Alright, so it's running, and it's running on localhost. So basically what this does is, not HTTPS, HTTP. It's running locally, so I don't need security yet. If I go to localhost 3000/API/v1/status, this is the Little Big Planet server status in JSON, which means that we can write a backend script for lbpunion.com on that page that reads this and turns it into the fancy HTML that displays currently. And, you know, it's automated, and the M88 Youngling doesn't have to go in and actually edit the page to say, okay, this server went to status 503, or this server went to status 504. What does this mean? Or this server's online now, this server's offline now. We don't need to do that. It can all just be handled for us by Agent Washington. So here's what this all means. First of all, name and description, self-explanatory. Main server, or mainline game servers, and it describes what that means. And then host is, of course, the host of the game server that we're pinging. History is the server status history, and it's a list of, well, history entries. And you can see that the last update was on this date that I can't really read, but it was today, because this is when I implemented this feature, was today. But status 503 and online 1, which, don't let that deceive you, that's actually not true, that's actually, this can be either 0, 1, or 2, and 0 means yes, it's online. I should probably change that. 1 means it's offline, and 2 means we don't know. Which there are some statuses where we actually don't know if you can actually get into the game's online features. Like, if this says status 404, then it's going to say online too, because we actually don't know if they're online. Status 404 could mean, yes, the server's online, but Little Big Planet can't actually connect because Sony has, or Sumo has temporarily changed the SSL certificate, and the game cannot handle that certificate. So even though the server looks online, we actually don't have a way to know for certain that it is. So that's what that status 2 means. So it basically means, yeah, it might be online, but you have to test it out yourself. We don't know anything more. Anyway, that aside, that's what that page meant, or that's what that JSON shows, and eventually it will be a nice formatted HTML page on lbpunion.com instead of localhost 3000. But that'll be tomorrow, or that'll be a while. It'll be up on a server tomorrow, but as far as it being on lbpunion.com, that's going to be a little while longer because I'm not working on that. That is someone else's job. Anyway, all of this is open source. You can go to github.com/lbpunion, and just like the Thundershock Alliance, you will see all of the projects that LBP Union is working on in terms of GitHub. We have Server Status API, which is what I just showed you, and we have Agent Washington, which is our Discord bot that does all the monitoring. So feel free to check that out. And as always, I've been Michael. I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And as always, thanks for watching, and join the Little Big Planet Union Discord if you haven't already. And also join my Discord as well, because I'm testing the bot there as well. I'm thinking of having Agent Washington set up that monitors on both LVP Union's server and on my server, because that's very interesting. And of course, I wrote the bot, so I can do that. Anyway, that aside, I'm going to actually end off the video. As always, I hope you learned something, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.